You won't see it coming. That's the disturbing truth about gut inflammation triggered by high-fat meals. It starts quietly, invisibly, and long before any bloating, discomfort, or disease diagnosis gives you a clue. On the surface, you might feel fine, maybe even energized by that indulgent meal. But deep in the folds of your intestines, at the cellular level, damage is already unfolding. Slowly, silently, a microscopic war begins. Barrier cells fray, immune messengers falter, and microbial balance tips into chaos. By the time symptoms show up, the inflammation has likely been brewing for months, if not years. At the heart of this invisible damage is a breakdown in epithelial integrity. The gut lining isn't a static wall. It's a single layer of epithelial cells tightly joined together like a living, breathing security checkpoint. These cells are responsible for keeping beneficial bacteria inside the gut where they belong, while letting nutrients pass through to the bloodstream. But high-fat meals, especially those rich in saturated and trans fats, have been shown to weaken these tight junctions. Fatty acids such as palmitic acid can trigger stress responses in epithelial cells, leading to the loosening of these junctions and making the gut more permeable, even in the absence of symptoms. It's a slow leak, not a rupture, and that's what makes it so dangerous. Once permeability increases, microbial fragments like lipopolysaccharides, LPS, from gram-negative bacteria start slipping through the epithelial layer into underlying tissues and eventually into circulation. Your immune system, sensing these rogue molecules in places they shouldn't be, mounts a response, but not an acute, dramatic one. Instead, it's a chronic, low-grade inflammation that doesn't make you sick overnight. It just keeps simmering. IL-6 and TNF-alpha, key inflammatory cytokines, start to rise. This microscopic immune activation becomes a daily background hum. You don't feel it, but your body is spending energy fighting what it sees as an ongoing threat. That energy could have gone to repairing tissues, metabolizing nutrients, or supporting cognition. Instead, it's consumed by the gut's silent fire. And let's not forget oxidative stress. High-fat meals lead to increased mitochondrial stress in gut epithelial cells. When overloaded with lipids, these cells produce excess reactive oxygen species, ROS, which damage DNA, proteins, and lipids within the cell. Antioxidant defenses become overwhelmed. This sets off another cascade. The immune system reacts not just to invading molecules, but to the damaged self, a scenario ripe for autoimmunity or long-term tissue degradation. Meanwhile, gut microbiota composition also begins to shift in response to fat. Beneficial species like Bifidobacteria and Akkermansia decline, while more opportunistic, endotoxin-producing strains flourish. This microbial imbalance, dysbiosis, creates a feedback loop. More bad bacteria, more LPS, more inflammation, more gut barrier damage. All of this can occur long before you notice a single problem with digestion or energy levels. And then one day it begins. Maybe it's a bit of reflux, a sudden intolerance to foods you used to digest just fine, constipation that wasn't there before, subtle weight gain that doesn't respond to exercise, brain fog after meals. You might think these are normal signs of aging or stress, but in many cases, they're the visible edge of a process that started much earlier, with cellular insults after meal of high-fat content, especially when combined with sugar, refined carbs, or ultra-processing. The early damage isn't dramatic, and that's precisely why it's so insidious. By the time gut inflammation becomes visible through symptoms or diagnosis, you're already deep in the timeline. This lag between cause and effect makes dietary damage difficult to link with certainty and easy to ignore. But your cells don't ignore it. Your immune system doesn't forget. Every fatty meal that triggers subclinical inflammation leaves behind a molecular fingerprint, a slightly altered immune threshold, a weakened cell junction, a shift in microbial balance. You don't need to feel it for it to shape your long-term health. In a way, the body is disturbingly tolerant. It adapts to inflammation at first. It doesn't scream. It whispers. But if you don't listen early, you won't like what it says later.